Thank you, Prosecutor General, for being here. I'm gonna make a statement, and then I have a couple of questions for you. First and foremost, I believe that this is an illegal and very dangerous act that Russia has undertaken here in the past year, and it must be condemned, and I do condemn it. I do want to explore, though, and this is not a differentiation, but I want you to understand that despite some of what my colleagues are saying, not everybody is convinced of the progress that has been made in Ukraine. In fact, this is not a concern that is limited to the United States. You know this. Germany had held back, whether it would be in military or in other areas. People in Switzerland, people in France, people throughout Europe have had to explain to their voters and to their taxpayers where their money is going. That's not anything different than what we have to do here in the United States. In fact, I think it's incumbent upon us to be transparent and open and honest with our own taxpayers where billions of dollars of their hard-earned money is going. And I happen to believe that this is the right direction to go, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't stop explaining and should not stop being transparent about that. Last week, I happened to be in Switzerland and in Geneva. I met with the International Red Cross, the ICRC. I met with folks from the Human Rights Commission as well as for the Commission on Refugees, exploring what was going on, what has been the European response, what has been the U.S. response. Certainly, the relationship that the Poles have shown, Ukraine has been almost second to none, it seems, right, as they've been accepting refugees. I'm pleased to hear, and I think many of us are pleased to hear, about the progress that has been made on these accusations of corruption within Ukraine. Frankly, I think Ukraine deserves, Ukraine deserves that explanation to the world. And that is why you went through the efforts that you did in Brussels and in Europe, explaining what has gone on. So please don't understand or misconstrue this, or please don't accept some of the rhetoric that is out there that somehow if you question this and want documentation that somehow that's anti-American or anti-Ukrainian. That certainly isn't the case. Along the lines with the ICRC, that was a fascinating meeting to have, and to hear the heartbreaking testimony that we heard earlier today about these children, especially, that have been taken from Ukraine. And I heard one of my colleagues throw out a 20,000 children number, but do you have a more accurate count of how many children have been taken from Ukraine?
The number is changing every day, so it's close to 20,000, of which only 361 returned home.
Okay. And I fully understand why you don't want to go into the mechanisms and the methods of how you are reaching out. I'm wondering, though, are there international organizations like ICRC, which is responsible for connecting official POWs, prisoners of war, but are they involved, or are any other international NGOs involved with helping to try to make those connections?
You know, they should be involved because it's their primary obligation. And we, as a governmental agencies, are in full contact with the ICRC. The only problem is the result. So we are in close contact with everyone. And the ICRC, as one of the organizations which is entitled to help in all humanitarian layers, all humanitarian dimensions for the people who suffered from war.
Are there any others, Human Rights Commission or other
yes,
NGOs?
Of course, all others, human rights commissions from the United Nations.
What can we do to help bolster that request?
I think that these organizations have a unique opportunity to talk and to meet Russians, I mean Russian authorities, and they could raise their voice to Russian authorities as a matter of returning our children back. I think it could be a good start for them. And they have full opportunities to help us with this. And we are in contact with them.
Great. And I know my time has expired. I just want to hear very briefly your commitment to make sure that ICRC and other organizations are being granted access to Russian POWs, much as you would rightly demand that ICRC and others are having access, constant access, not just periodic or one-time sort of access to Ukrainian POWs that might either be in eastern Ukraine or in Russia.
We have sufficient legislation and sufficient procedures which enable ICRC to visit prisoners of war of Russia which are held in Ukrainian facilities. If I will know any problem, let them contact me and we will sort it out.
I appreciate that, and I yield back.
Thank you.
Hey, before you click on the next video, if y'all could do me a big favor and hit that like button. The algorithm loves it, and so do I, because it helps promote these videos and get the message out about what our government has been doing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because every time I put out a video, you want to know about it, right? Thanks again, and have a good one. See you on the next one. Peace.